Kia ora Canterbury and welcome to Canterbury Live on Thursday, March 12th. I hope you've had a great start to your day, and if it is your birthday, many happy returns to you from the Canterbury Live team. You are sharing it with two very famous people. First up, can you hear that song? So love it, gets me a little bit emotional. James Taylor, there he is, the man himself. Well, he is 67 today, good old James. And of course, this song was one of his famous hits, You've Got a Friend, and the other one was Fire and Rain. And before he actually reached his fame, a bit of trivia for you, he suffered really, really bad depression. He used to sleep for 20 hours a day. Thank goodness he doesn't need to do that anymore. So we'll leave you with a song for our next celebrity. That's her birthday today. You may not recognise her. Yeah, Liza Minnelli, seriously. That is a lot of plastics been happening there. But I still remember fondly of her character, Dudley Moore. If you remember the Arthur movies, he was her wife, love interest, and I always thought she was so awesome in that. She married David Guest. I don't know if you know who that is, but he, a real estate property developer, they look very similar actually. They married and divorced three times in 5 years. That's 3 times in 5 years. Amazing. But anyway, Liza Minnelli, she is 69 today. Coming up on today's show, Ange Stone joins me and we're talking about our teenagers, what they should and shouldn't do, and if they need a little bit of help, we've got some options for you. Our media guru, Moses Robbins, joins me and we're talking about internet safety and how we can avoid some of those email scams. Runway models, yes, join me. We're talking about a recent fashion parade and some wonderful things that are coming up for them. But first up, are you thinking about taking an overseas holiday? Sounds good, doesn't it? Well, you may need the help of a very, very good travel agent with some wonderful options. And I'm joined by the best of the best, yes, Susan Lilly. She's the General Manager of the House of Travel located in Victoria Street.
Good morning.
No pressure.
Good morning, Andrea.
Hey, travelling is such an awesome thing to do, but it is in your blood, isn't it? That's your career.
Yeah, I've done it for 15 years, so it's a very exciting industry, and once you're in it, you can't get out of it. You're addicted.
You're addicted. Do you still love it though?
Absolutely, and I love travelling. It's just, once you've travelled to a few places, you just you can't wait to, organise your next destination. So, and we're the professionals at House of Travel on Victoria Street. We've got some together, we've got a lot of experience. Most of our consultants have over 15 years experience, some in the 20s, although they wouldn't like to tell you that, and have done extensive travel, so they're the professionals.
And that's the key, and you've got to have a good agent to be looking after you, especially when you're putting a package together. And we've got a couple of options for our viewers today. The first is the World Cup netball. I mean, hello rugby, but there actually is a netball World Cup as well.
There is. So it's in Sydney this year, in August, and we've sold out of our 11-day packages, but we do have a 4-night, 5-day package, which is for the finals. That includes 4 nights accommodation at the Ridges in Sydney, and also it includes gold passes to the finals, and it also includes some merchandise.
Oh, nice.
Along with that, you can also book a brunch cruise which goes from Sydney, or Circular Quay, down to Parramatta, and then you get to go to Olympic Park where the final's being held, and you get brunch, and so that's another option you can add. And we can also add any other things that you want to do while you're in Sydney.
How cool, and very cool, because you're being hosted by, is it Lois Muir?
That's right. And
Dame Lois Muir.
Dame, yes, don't forget the Dame, netball royalty we call her. And we also have Irene van Dyke, who is an absolute hoot, and she's an amazing speaker and a really good host. So you would just get, even if you're not into netball, it's a great opportunity to go along and perhaps enjoy Sydney at the same time. Yeah.
So contact House of Travel on Victoria Street for that one. But the next one is pretty cool. Off the Beaten Track.
Yes,
I love that.
Off the Beaten Track is an evening that we've got organised for the 18th of March, and that's between 6 and 8. And what we've done is we've got specialists coming from countries that you wouldn't normally think about, some of them being Oman. We've got Cuba, Burma, just to name a few, and then we've got specialists that are coming to talk about those destinations, what you can do, and as it is off the beaten track. So, we've all done the Fijis and the Hawaiis, and we've done the LAs. Why not do something a little bit adventurous and a little bit different?
Yeah, and it could be on your bucket list, couldn't it?
It could.
Susan?
And if you want to do it in luxury, you can do it in luxury as well. There are 5-star options. So, but it is what it says, off the beaten track. So you can contact any house of travel in the Christchurch area to go and register for the evening. So I suggest that you do that.
Wow. So is the best thing, though, do you suggest to people, if they've got an idea of what they want to do or going back to that bucket list, are we best just to actually come and have a conversation with one of the team down there at House of Travel?
Absolutely. Look, you might come in and say, look, I want to go to a particular place, but what do I do on the way? What can I do there? And we can think of ideas that are outside the square. And, you know, often we think of a place that we want to go, but is that where we really want to go? We can give you some ideas perhaps of something that you didn't even think of.
Yeah.
So it's best to leave it in the professionals' hands, because, you know, you can go on the internet, but man, we can tell you some horror stories of people who have messed up. So why not do the whole thing, and then you go on your holiday and you know it's all been done. You don't have to worry about it. Yes, and enjoy every day while you're on holiday.
Well, very cool, very generous, the House of Travel team. Tell us about a special offer you have for our CTV viewers.
Yes, so anyone that comes into House of Travel on Victoria Street, we have got a special offer. It's a $50 gift card, so for any new bookings or any new clients that come in and mention CTV.
Oh, that is too cool. That's great. You're saving before you even get in the door.
That's right.
So the House of Travel, let's recap. The netball is for when? For June?
For August.
For August, so
yes.
Make sure you get into Victoria Street by that. So it's August, think about that. But the 18th of March is when we have Off the Beaten Track. So just contact a House of Travel here in Christchurch to register. Awesome catching up with you, Susan.
And you.
I love it, love it. Jet setting around the world. Stay with us from one gorgeous woman to another, and Stone, and we're talking teenagers. Oh, hate them. We may have them in our world, and yes, we do as well.
We do.
But how do we dress them?
Well,
or do we dress them?
Well, it's quite interesting. I think, you know, from about the age of 10, I mean, some actually even start earlier, but around 10, they've really started to find, you know, their kind of style. They're starting to grow up. They're very aware of what their friends are wearing, especially those that don't wear a school uniform. But those that, you know, enjoy going out with their friends and catching up on the weekend, like I know some of our kids do, you know, they actually start to be very conscious about what they are wearing. And I think the key is here, you know, they've got all this time to grow up. I think it happens so quickly. And online shopping, I think, has become one of those great resources for our young teenagers. It's actually just being able to manage that online shopping, that click of that button. I know with my own children can just be a little bit too clicky, too quick.
Clicky, click, click. Love it. Let's talk about the girls first of all.
Yes.
I don't have girls, so I don't know, but you do. So how do you manage what they wear?
Yeah, do you know, it is, I find it so interesting. They're so conscious of their bodies, what they're eating, and the style. You know, I know that they're looking online, especially in Australia, very cheap, cheerful, fun, flirty kind of styles. And, you know, I really have to say to them, look, I think that's a bit short, or it's not quite right. But they're so particular. And the thing is, like, you don't want to put them off, but I think as a parent it's very important to guide them and to let them know that there really is plenty of time to actually grow up and not wear anything, let's just say, just too old for themselves as well.
Inappropriate.
Yeah, totally. So do you know what we've done is we've actually designed these teenage fashion styling courses so that we can retain some kind of, I guess, youthfulness with teenagers, but also guide them in the right direction. See, I find that a lot of young teenagers today all dress the same and they're almost looking like sheep. And so the thing is, like, I think it's important to be able to learn to express themselves through colour, through styles as well, and show them the various different styles of clothing so that they don't all look the same.
It's okay to be an individual.
Yeah, absolutely. And really, you know, stand out. I know with my Eva, she's 15 and she's really loving this whole lipstick trend that's going on. 15. She said, she showed me a photograph last night and said, Mum, look at my lips. I said, yes, they're beautiful, aren't they? But really dark lipstick too, that whole Lord type of look.
Ah.
So, that 15, 16-year-old, this is what they're aspiring to. I often find that music videos really do dictate a lot of their fashion trends as well. So I think it's a matter of managing that and, keeping them on the straight and narrow and having conversations about, the way they look as well, and actually asking, do you think this is appropriate for that occasion? I believe that you can never be overdressed. You can always be underdressed.
Yeah.
But there's also plenty of time to get really dressed up as a teenager. So just age appropriate is just so important.
So how do we become a part of the teenage courses that you're offering? Because it could be a great vehicle if we feel that a teenager is just maybe getting a bit off the rails.
Yeah,
and
sure.
just need a little bit of help in a safe zone.
Yes, certainly. Well, all this the course information is all available on our website, and the course is really designed to grow wonderful, confident teenagers that look good and actually feel good about themselves as well. I've been working with a lot of schools recently and actually going in and educating young students about looking after themselves, getting enough sleep, all these things that you hear mum and dad say, but they hear it from someone like me and they actually take it on. And the schools love it. It's all part of the Gateway program as well. So if there's any mum or dad out there listening, they can talk to their careers advisor about Gateway in Angela Stone. And I've got a lot of schools that are gearing me up to come in for the rest of the year as well.
Yeah, it just seems like a natural progression, isn't it? I mean,
yes.
it's that awkward age, isn't it? Because they're moving into adulthood, but they're not quite, and it's just, and it's sometimes, as you said, not a parent actually guiding them along the way. Exactly. What's one great tip for a teenager as a parent to offer them?
I would be always talking to, and I always do myself, is talk about balance, getting sleep, eating well, exercising, and actually taking care and actually looking after themselves. Often people start doing that when it's too late, but I think as young teenagers, they are quite, they want to look after themselves, but really encouraging that as well and giving them lots of praise, telling them they look great, telling them,
I love that.
I think praise is really important. And coming from mum and dad, it's just worth its weight in gold. Yeah, and I make sure I always comment on how lovely and shiny the hair looks, because these are things that they're doing for themselves. So I think it's about praise today.
Good on you, thanks, Ange. And hey, we also need to lead by example.
Absolutely.
See you next time. Now stay with us after the break. More Canterbury Live. Welcome back to Canterbury Live, and I'm joined now, of course, familiar face, Anna. How you doing?
Good.
International model and booker, love that. And Julia Hope, first time to meet you, so welcome. And you are one of the runway models.
Yes, yep.
Great.
Sure am.
Well, last time you were in, Anna, we were talking about the fashion parade that was going to be happening in the Restart Mall.
Yes.
How was the weather?
It rained. It rained, and
It rained on your parade.
Yes, it did rain on our parade, but we continued anyways. So we walked in the rain. We had Mayor shoes, which were really great, really lovely, and plush. Carolyn was on last week. She outfitted us.
Oh,
and
she's
everything.
gorgeous.
Yeah, great.
And the Mere shoes, just putting it out there, but I don't know if you know this, but one of the biggest buyers is Anthony Goff.
I'm actually not surprised now that you say that.
We have seen many fine shoes walk through here with Mr. Goff. I'll tell you that for nothing. How did it go though, all jokes aside?
It went well. We had quite a bit of a crowd. There's Julia walking now, and even though it rained, it was very nice. It was kind of relaxed and.
Yeah, it was a nice atmosphere and people were clapping along.
And supportive because, getting out there in the rain.
Yeah.
But would have been quite cleansing, quite cathartic, actually being out there, but organic.
Yeah, it was very organic, which I think really worked well with plush because, they've got all those earthy tones and everything. And so
yeah, because you just looked amazing last week, of course, when Anna was wearing that gorgeous dress. It was just sensational. Julia, how long have you been modelling for?
Not very long. I'm just starting up, but I've got a very exciting shoot tomorrow at the Colombo, which is quite cool. Yeah,
Tell us about that. What's going on?
I'm just going there, and I think it's just for the because they do like their seasonal advertising.
Okay.
So it'll be like the pictures, like you might see me on the walls of the Colombo.
Yep.
Well, you have to sign your name there.
Yeah.
Down in the Colombo, fun enough, is Stencil, and they have kitted you out today in awesome wear. Loving the t-shirt. Anna, you've got what, Federation top there,
Federation top, nudie jeans,
and Julie has
I've got a Huffer top.
Love Huffer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dr. Denim.
Yeah, Dr. Denim jeans, which is pretty cool. Really
pretty cool,
comfy,
eh?
very comfy.
Very comfy.
Very comfy.
Yeah.
We like comfy jeans.
Yes.
Hate shopping for jeans, but Stencil is a great place.
They've got a lot.
A lot,
Yeah,
in
a
Yeah,
lot.
and the jeans are actually
They're long, yeah.
Because I'm very tall.
Yeah, we're both
actually
tall.
very tall. And we struggle to find jeans that are long enough. And I've
Yeah.
actually had to roll these ones up. So, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Buy
fabulous.
two, not just one. Billboards. Want to talk about beautiful new billboards. We've got
Yes.
some shots of them now. Tell us about those.
Yes, so we have 2 billboards and a bus back running now. And there's one billboard over on Morehouse Ave by Pack and Save.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's actually by the Sockburn roundabout. And runway.
You could be very distracting just quietly there, ladies, as we're driving through Sockburn.
Yes, so that's that actually isn't the exact same as the one that's up. There's actually a blue plane, but it is the same concept. And then there's Chris Flock. He's a race car driver. He and I are in this picture with a very lovely McLaren, which Archibald's supplied for us. We actually
Nice.
shot in Archibald's upstairs.
Oh,
Which
really?
is really funny because, you know, they're all working.
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah,
they're
they're
working.
working.
Well, everyone coming out from the offices and that.
offices
Yeah.
and everything. But it was really fun. And then there's the bus back is refined shine and polish, or polish, refined shine, because Runway has a slogan that we like to find the diamonds in the rough and polish and refine them, you know, and then get them out into the modeling world
It's
and
quite
everything
true,
like
isn't
that.
it? That's the way it is. Want to give your time in the sun. Tell us about what you have just signed up for.
Oh, yes. So I have been offered the opportunity to be the New Zealand country director for United Nations Fashion Week, which is really exciting. It's not until right now we're working towards the New York Fashion Week, which is going to be in October. And then there's one in Paris and then there's one in Dubai. But it's a lovely, lovely organization, and it works closely, if I'm not mistaken, with UNICEF. And so it's mostly not for profit. And
What a privilege.
yeah, it's very
and
exciting.
says so much about you and Runway Models.
Yeah,
Anna.
yeah, we're really excited. Actually, Cody is now the Australian country director. So we've got the whole Australia, New Zealand
Australasia.
thing, yeah, going on.
Just quickly before we go, what's coming up?
So coming up, you know, everything you'll see are billboards and all that. We don't really have any big events. However, towards the end of the month, we are having a gala to sort of, we haven't had a grand opening for Runway, so we're going to have a gala,
fantastic.
black tie. You know, you'll get your invite soon.
Oh,
and everything.
any excuse to dress up, lovely. I don't mind at all.
Yes.
Julia, it was a pleasure meeting you, and I'm sure this is not the last time we'll see you here on the
No.
couch. So all the best for the shoot tomorrow at the Colombo Street.
Yeah.
Just quietly if you're down there, sure we're down there. Okay, and Anna, awesome, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks, ladies. Stay with us after the break. Moses Robbins joins me. We're talking internet safety. See you soon.
Regardez-moi, le look et tes choses.
Well, hopefully you haven't been scammed as yet, but have you experienced getting one of those emails that says, you know, open, you've just won $1 million? How does that happen, Moses?
Well, there's people in the world who aren't very nice. There always will be. And on the internet, it can be quite easy to take advantage of other people who maybe are a bit too trusting.
Right, okay. So we need to be very aware and sensitive to people that are preying on you, basically, aren't they?
Yep.
On your
Yep.
good.
Vigilant. I
Yeah.
think when we think about regular mail in the day, back in the day, we would get our flyers for different shops and shopping, and we would get our power bill in the mail and all these things. And it was a lot easier to judge, and also there was you were just there alone with a piece of paper. You couldn't actually take an action that could potentially compromise you or your privacy or your some of your personal details.
Right.
So I think because email is still kind of novel for some people, perhaps the older generation, you know, just getting used to it. Yes, just some of that common sense might not be there because it's still quite novel. So, oh, an email, click. you
Yeah.
know.
Ooh. Well, let's talk about the emails then, about how you can identify if one is a scam then.
Well, I think generally you should know who the sender is. So on the internet there's certain things that you might sign up for, and if you ever do put your email address in on a website, just make sure that it's a trusted website. Like, look around the website, maybe ask some friends, or just obviously use Google to search the kind of names or the personalities that might be associated with that brand or that website. And just a little bit of research before you go giving away your email address.
How about putting credit card details into purchasing things? What do you feel about that?
Yep, there's a lot of, I mean, obviously most people do their banking online these days. It's again, it's just about, it's about common sense and just being really sensible. And if you feel a bit wary, just take your time, call the company. You know, if you're shopping online or something, just give them a call, or read through their policies and stuff. Generally, there's trusted sites, and there's all sorts of icons, but that could be false too. Some of the icons might be false. So the key is just, there is a lot to think about. I guess it's similar to any kind of shop that you might go into. You know, if the sign's kind of falling off and there's a hole in the counter.
Is it reputable?
And the car's kind of, yeah.
When you're surfing, you're saying, talk about surfing and Googling the internet and that, you may have screens that come up, that pop up on screen, and you can just click to get out of it.
Yes.
To click or not to click, that is the question.
Well, personally, I run a pop-up blocker on my browser. So most internet browsers, whether you've got Internet Explorer or Mozilla or Chrome, Safari, you can normally find extensions. If you browse with Safari, go Safari pop-up blocker extension.
Simple as that.
And you get something that will just install in your browser and stop that from happening. But generally, yeah, I try and so I just don't have to deal with them anymore. But you do have to be really careful, just when you end up at funny parts of the web.
Yeah.
Which can be quite
you've
easy
just
to do.
another one there. There's a pop-up blocker. If you don't know how to do it, then as you just said, talk to a friend.
That's
or
right.
or someone in your family, and get them to actually put it onto your computer. Would be a quick fix. Stop of it, wouldn't it? Really. What's one piece of advice you would offer to someone out there about keeping their internet safe for them?
If they are worried that their browsing behaviour isn't safe, or that their computer might be compromised or already is, it probably is. Right. Because that would indicate that they don't have the confidence, that maybe they've had some weird experiences. It's almost like start again, you know. Call up your nephew or your tech cousin, or your son's girlfriend who was with the computer, and get them in to basically just...
Bit of an overhaul.
Yeah, just start again, start fresh, and just be really sensible with what you sign up to and what you what you look at.
Yeah, and if you're in doubt, the odds are probably shouldn't. Maybe that, yeah.
Correct.
Hey, awesome catching up with you, Mose. It's really cool. You put an awesome spin on this whole thing that for some of us is actually a little bit scary. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a whiz bang show. Hope you have a great day tomorrow. Very cool indeed. We have Marching New Zealand coming in. I might even better find some of my boots. Have a great day.